The time is now 10 a.m. This is EBC Radio 104.7.
You're listening to Sports Addis on EBC 104.7 FM with Wilbur and Debbie J.
And a very good morning to you. It's Sports Addis 10:04 at EBC 104.7 with Wilbur and Derek, and an intruder in the studio as well. An intruder in the studio who goes by the name of Daniel. I don't know, some guy who pretends to do a show on a Saturday.
Right. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got another amazing show lined up for you. So what have we got? Let's kick off with the headlines. Wales smashed the rugby world record. Bell and Zidane are back, and no Rafa Nadal final. We are absolutely distraught at that. So, Wales are celebrating a third Grand Slam in the 11 years after they put Ireland to bed in a ruthless fashion to storm to the Six Nations title. Not often is this championship Wales been spectacular in attacking, but their defence as well, really relentless defending to overcome their opponents. It means Warren Gatland, in his 50th and final Six Nations match in charge, becomes the first coach in 5 or 6 Nations history to win 3 slams. His team's record-breaking winning run now stems back to 14 games, which is unbelievable in rugby history. Bell and Zidane are back at the Bernabeu. Yes, Gareth Bell and Isco scored against Celta Vigo to give coach Zidane a winning start on his return to Real Madrid. Isco, out of favour under the previous coach, made it 1-0 when he tapped in the strike from Benzema's low cross from close range. And then 30 minutes later, from time in fact, Wales forward Bell, who says he wants to stay at the Bernabeu, he put the ball in the net for a welcome, happy return for Zidane. And we were waiting and hoping for this final between Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer.
Well, I was waiting for it.
You was waiting for it,
yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
classic.
And it's not going to happen.
Oh.
It's not going to happen because Rafa Nadal has withdrawn from the Indian Wells semi-final against Roger Federer with a right knee injury. The world number 2 received treatment to the knee during the quarter-final win on Friday. The Spaniard looked in complete discomfort during the match and only had a brief practice session on Saturday. It's tough for me to accept all these things I'm going through in my career, Nadal said. Sometimes I feel sad because I'm in a disadvantage to all my opponents. What he's referring to there is that he's had this recurring knee problem now, I think for like 4 or 5 years now, which has really hampered him winning as many titles as we think he would. On the other hand,
Federer.
I
mean, it's so weird, right?
He's getting older and getting better.
How is that possible? I mean, I feel bad for Nadal because he's a great athlete, but the injuries
injuries are not helping him at all.
Not at all.
So it's 10:07, it's Sports Addis on EBC 104.7. Coming up on the show, all the results from yesterday's FA Cup matches in English Premier League. Last week we gave you the beginner's guide to tennis, so we've shortened it this week and we're going to give you the beginner's guide to table tennis.
You shortened what?
We shortened the pitch. We made the racket smaller.
Alright.
So it's the beginner's guide to table tennis, plus Champions League and Europa League updates. All the latest local right here on the EFL Premier League, which the season's restarted?
Yeah,
it's restarted.
The second season, it has started yesterday.
Yeah.
And we had one match actually. Adigrat University played against Hawassa Kanama and they won 1-0. So most of the match will be played today, and we'll talk about some of the matches actually.
Okay, and don't forget to join the conversation in our Telegram group, Sports Addis, and follow us on Space. Did
you say
Facebook?
Space?
I was going to say Space. I think I misnamed it. Okay. Yeah, let's rewind. Let's stop. You didn't hear that at all. What I meant to say was Facebook. Unless you are, in course, listening to this in space, where it will be called Spacebook. So should we have a look at the matches yesterday? There was a few matches in the English Premier League. So where should we start? Bournemouth 2, Newcastle 2. What do we think about that match?
Amazing match. Amazing match. Bournemouth were leading 2-0, and Newcastle came back to make the result the same. It was just unbelievable. Like the environment was good. Everything was good. I loved everything about it. Yeah.
And Newcastle are on a bit of a run here. I mean, they're doing okay. I mean, they didn't win, but they're becoming a bit of the comeback kings of being down and winning. Their last match, it was 3-2. Their last match when they came back with Jose Perez scored like 2 goals in about 5 minutes, which was amazing. So Newcastle doing things. I mean, Rafa Benitez. I mean, he has no money.
No money.
He has less than Arsenal, which is hard to believe.
Sad. At the beginning of the season, he was really sad, and he was. I could say he was depressed because of the participation in the market. But he's always known for coming back or saving teams from.
He is brilliant. I gotta say, he is brilliant. Yeah.
And you know what? I actually do feel quite sorry for Huddersfield, and we can actually hear from the manager.
24 hours. And I was working so hard this week, like I did the whole time when I came here. And I was so proud of the performance, and after the game I went to our supporters and tipped my cap, I think you say in English, because the people here deserved that we should have won this game, and I can't describe my feelings at the moment. Look at my face. There are reasons why we're on the bottom of the table, and I said it right from the beginning. There are reasons, but I still kept fighting.
So, it's 10:13. This is EBC 104.7. You're listening to Sports Addis. I'm Wilbur.
And Rajay.
And Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for choosing EBC this Sunday. We can just have a quick look at what is happening at the top of the Premier League. The top 5. It hasn't really changed in the top 5.
Yeah, Manchester City is still leading with 74 points. And they didn't play actually yesterday. And Liverpool second with 73 points, and Tottenham Hotspur third. Fourth is Arsenal, and Manchester United is fifth. And Chelsea, a club which has a game in hand, is sixth at the moment, and Wolves is seventh. So this is what the table looks like. And when we look at the the bottom 3 teams, Cardiff City has 28 points, and Fulham 17 points. They're gonna play today against Liverpool, and Huddersfield Town has 14 points, and they're at the bottom of the English Premier League. So it's most likely, the Huddersfield is
goodbye
gone.
Huddersfield.
Yeah, there's already 16 points difference between them and Burnley, who is 17th at the moment, and Cardiff City has a chance to catch up. The likes of Burnley and Southampton, but it's most likely for Fulham and Huddersfield. They're not gonna make it.
Which is strange actually, because I'm actually quite disappointed in the last 3, 4, 5 seasons. The teams which have come up, or the teams which we thought would go down, have actually fought quite hard and long into the season before we've kind of said, oh, they're going down. But Huddersfield, we were saying they were, after match 15, we were saying they were gone. They were just losing and losing and losing. Fulham, who spent so much money.
So much money.
So much money. They're just not performing.
It's really sad.
It's
very sad.
It's crazy. And personally, being a UK London lad, I would have loved to see Fulham stay in, because it would be another team to travel to. Because when you go into football matches, you don't want to travel too far. So if I can go to 5 or 6 matches all in London, it's brilliant for me. So I was hoping that Fulham would stay up. Selfish, like I am, But hey, it didn't. Hey, when we come back, we've got so much. We've got all the sports bulletins, the stuff which happened around the world. We've got some Formula 1 news, we've got some NFL news, we've got some cricket news, some sad cricket news as well coming up. We're definitely going to look at the Ethiopia Premier League, what's going on, and Europa
League
champions.
Both.
Yeah, we've got to see what's going on, who's facing who, and our predictions, maybe who we think's going to get that cup. I'm looking forward to Manchester United versus Barcelona. That's all. I don't know about you.
It's a nightmare. Manchester United. fans. But you never know when it's a big match. Manchester United used to resurrect from the dead. Yesterday was, we'll look at it anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
song and then
there's this young guy. His name is Chris Brown, and he wants to sing us a song.
Yeah.
That is Chris Brown on EBC. Thank you, Chris. 10:19. EBC 104.7. Welcome along to Sports Addis. If you've just joined us, thank you. If it's your first time, make sure you tell a friend that we are here every Sunday at 10 a.m. We spoke a little bit about the English Premier League, but we haven't really spoken about the FA Cup, of which there were a few matches yesterday, weren't there?
Yeah, Watford managed to win. They managed to win 2-1 to Crystal Palace, and Swansea City, they lost to Manchester City. Manchester City came back from being led by Swansea City to win the match 3-2, and Wolverhampton Wanderers, they surprised Manchester United. They won 2-1. Rashford's, his last goal didn't save United from being kicked out of the FA Cup, and it was really frustrating for Solskjaer because he was expecting to come back from defeat from last week, but it didn't happen. So he said it's a big step backwards, right? Yeah. So those are the results from yesterday's FA Cup.
Did you manage? I mean, I didn't. I sort of had one eye on the matches. I must admit, I didn't really pay a lot of attention. I was travelling around, but I was watching mainly the Manchester City match.
Yeah, same here.
And I was like, oh wow, Swansea are going to win this.
Yeah. First half and second half, totally different.
Yeah.
Aspect of the aspect of everything. It's just weird. I mean, it shows that Guardiola's tactics and his motivational strategies to his players, they changed completely on the second half, and they came back to win 3-2. That's amazing, unbelievable.
Yeah, the mentality. I mean, I was talking about Manchester City winning the Premier League, and I keep saying that once you've won the Premier League and you've won it recently, there is something which changes in the mentality of the club. Yeah. They just know how to win. Yeah. They don't get scared, and that was when I was discussing with a friend of mine who supports Liverpool. I was saying, that's the difference between Manchester City and Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool are playing really well, and and many people say they deserve to win the Premier League, and it's only 1 point. But this is all now. The whole Premier League is only about City. It's not about Liverpool. Yes. This is about Manchester City. Can they maintain this level to win? Because if they do, it's theirs.
They will continue to do it, I'm sure. By the way, yesterday's Aguero's goal, the last goal, was offside. I mean, it was offside. Like it was. Even Pep admitted that, and he even apologized for. I don't know why he apologized, but he did. Yeah. But they won the match. Yeah. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. And within a season, there are so many offsides. Yeah. Some go for you, some go against you. Yeah. So they normally say it's kind of evens itself out. Yeah. They say that, but when you're a fan, you don't want to hear that. It's offside. It's just wrong. Yeah. But that was probably the best match out of the three yesterday.
And also Manchester United versus Wolverhampton was a big match.
We forgot.
And it's the first time Nuno Espirito Santos side have reached the last four of the competition since 1997-98.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a very big win for Wolves, and Germany is fired home inside a crowded area after 17 minutes before Jota returned Luke Shaw's inside out to add the second 6 minutes later, and the game beyond United. And it's really amazing. Rashford came back. He was really selfish.
Yeah.
That's one thing that all the fans were saying. He's really selfish. He should be sitting on the bench. There were like 2,000 comments.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's in goal scoring form. When you're in goal scoring form, you kind of think that anything you hit is going to hit the back of the net. You're going to score. He's scoring every game, so you can't put him on the bench. You know, I mean, the thing is, we're all fans in the studio, and I'm sure that people at home listening are fans, and the cars are fans. And the thing is, we always complain when our team loses. So if Rashford plays and he scores, he's brilliant. If he misses 10 shots, he's rubbish, he should be on the bench. I mean, make your mind up. What do you want? He's a human being. You know, he's a good player. He has to start.
Yes. Well, yesterday VAR was in use and overturned a red card to Victor Lindelof at minute 80 after a crunching tackle on Jota by the touchline.
There's that name again.
Yeah. So VAR is VAR is doing
Hey.
its job.
But what do you think Solskjaer had to say? Should we have a listen?
Yeah.
Let's have a listen.
Ola, it wasn't Manchester United's night. What was your assessment of the performance?
Well, we didn't play to our standards and to our quality. I think we were too slow, both in possession and out of possession, really. And even though we dominated possession, I never felt you could control the game because we gave the ball away, which they wanted to break on us, and they took them chances well.
I guess the obvious question is why, because the players have been so good for you for so long now. You had a good amount of rest from the last game against Arsenal, so is it difficult to put your finger on why it just wasn't there this evening?
It's one of those things that we've been on a good run, we played well, we performed well, but today that was a big step back in performance. I've got to say, disappointed in the performance tonight, and we've just got to hold our hands up and say Wolverhampton deserve the win.
You have an international break coming up now. Does it come at a good time or a bad time for you?
You have to say good time because it's because it's happening. Because you've got to look at what opportunities you have. Players go away with their mates, international mates. Some got some days off. We have to recharge. Look forward to the challenges ahead because there's loads of them. Good challenges as well.
Good challenges ahead for Manchester United.
Definitely.
And probably they might also concede injuries. These international matches are always a headache for coach like Arsene Wenger. If you remember, he always had an injury, and then he keeps on complaining, especially if it's a friendly match. He's against that. He used to be.
We have to talk about Wolves for a minute, though.
Yeah, let's do that.
Wolves have won 6 of their last 7 home matches across all competition.
Beware, Arsenal fans.
And drew 1. They didn't lose. It's just unbelievable record. So next match is with Arsenal.
Is Arsenal,
away. Arsenal will go away. So let's see what's gonna happen. I mean,
Wolves are becoming the giant killers.
Yeah, they're on 7.
They're leaving their names,
They're 7s, right, on the table.
Yeah.
7s on the table.
Yeah.
They're doing amazing.
Yeah, they're doing amazing. Hey, talking about amazing, Mariah Carey, she's back.
Wow.
I know. Mariah Carey is back. Sounded a little bit different.
To football or?
To football.
She's playing in goal. She's the goalkeeper. Mariah Carey's back, not playing football, but singing and featuring someone we love called Steph Landon. And we'll hear that. It's 10:30. You're listening to EBC 104.7. This is Sports Addis. That was Mariah Carey, Stefan John. A No, the remix. Hope you're enjoying the show. Glad to have your company. Don't forget you can follow the conversation on Telegram and on Facebook. Both titles, just search Sports Addis. You will find us there. Leave a message as well if you want. We might even play it on the show at some point. We never know. We might do. We might not. Depends. We've been talking a lot about football. And don't worry, we still got a lot more to talk about football. But let's talk about some other sporting news, should we? Formula 1, Lewis Hamilton is on pole position for the Australian Grand Prix. Surprise. This is the 6th year in succession that the world champion has been fastest on a single lap around Melbourne's difficult Albert Park Street circuit. And the 0.7 seconds margin between Hamilton and the fastest Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel will make some believe that it will be Mercedes' year yet again. Although Hamilton has said it's obviously too early to call that, and he doesn't think it will be Ferraris. What do we think?
He says that every year.
He does, doesn't he?
He says that every year.
Yeah.
But at the end, he's going to win. He's going to be on the podium. So, I mean, Lewis is awesome and all, but Vettel is my favorite. Yeah. I don't know who asked that question, but...
But you know the other thing? The other thing was, in the testing, there was rumours that Ferrari were not pushing the cars to the limit. They were pretending.
Yeah, they were just,
so Mercedes thought they had the advantage, and then they were going to
Right.
So that's Wilbur trying to do.
That was me and my Ferrari. Sorry,
Yeah, all right.
sorry, listeners, if I just woke you up. That was me and my Ferrari, pretending.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good year. It's a good Formula
good
Formula
year.
One.
Yeah.
fan,
If you're a Formula One fan, don't worry, we'll keep you up to date. If you're a cricket fan, we've got some cricket news for you as well. Bangladesh cricketers are actually, this is a sad one, we mentioned this earlier, are in shock after witnessing the fatal mass shooting in New Zealand's mosque on Friday, says the opener Tamir Iqbal. Players and coaching staff were 50 yards away from Al Noor Mosque in Christchurch when the shooting began. They were due to play New Zealand in the third test of the series, but the match, which was due to start yesterday at Canterbury's Hagley Oval, was of course cancelled. Speaking to Radio New Zealand, Tamil added, New Zealand has been beautiful, very safe whenever we have been here. This is the first time that not only in New Zealand but anywhere else in the world that I've experienced this, and I am still in shock. So cricket is mourning, as indeed the entire nation in New Zealand and across the world, wishing everyone peace. And our final story, looking at other sports, is the NFL. Cleveland Browns. Kareem Hunt has been suspended by the NFL for the first 8 games of the 2009 season after the release. There was that release of the video, if you remember, back in February last year, showing him attacking a woman. The running back, who was 23, was sacked by Kansas City Chiefs in December. Then a month later, he was signed by the Browns, but remained banned until the NFL investigation is complete. So bad news if you're a Kansas City fan.
Yeah.
Which Derrick obviously is not a Kansas City, City fan.
I can say a few things about the Champions League results from last week.
Yeah.
Juventus managed to come back from 2-0, in the first round to win 3-0.
Hang on. Let me guess. So Juventus were losing, and then Juventus scored 3 goals. Now let me think. Hang on. Let me think. Who could possibly have scored for Juventus? Let me think. No, I don't know. Give me a clue.
All right, Cristiano Ronaldo came back for the saving, and he still got it. So he scored the 3 goals. The last one was, of course, a penalty.
How old is he
But
now? 33?
34.
34, right?
He's 34.
Unbelievable.
You see, the people who get older,
Yeah.
as you get older, you get better. I've told you guys, as you get older, you get better.
Yeah. So Daniel stopped counting when he was like.
Yeah.
So Atletico Madrid lost 3-0
Wow.
away. So it's really amazing for them to lose like this. And Manchester City, on the other hand, shocked,
Demolished. Yeah, like-
smashed,
Embarrassed.
Schalke offer
Spanked.
7-0. So in aggregate, that will be 10-2 for Manchester City. So you can see that they are unbelievable, still in the Champions League as well. And Barcelona also managed to win 5-1 to Olympic Lyonnais.
There needs to be another league just for Barcelona and Manchester City, it seems.
Yeah.
Just another
Yeah.
super league.
I want to
or something.
see them playing, by the way, in the Champions League. And the other match was Bayern Munich versus Liverpool, and Liverpool managed to win away 3-1. Impressive, very impressive.
What's going on with Bayern, though?
It's really amazing.
Bayern had all the play. I mean, Liverpool were really defending for that match.
But
You
they're not as good as they were, or as carry as they were before.
Yeah.
Because this is the Bayern Munich is like the team in our generation who won with Barcelona 7-1.
Yeah.
They beat Barcelona 7-1. Now they're losing to Liverpool.
Yeah,
It's-
there's always time for clubs to
Yeah.
shine and to
but the
to
transition,
go dark.
The transition.
Yeah. The other thing you have to remember, though, is you think of Bayern and you think of the Bundesliga. There's about 3. I mean, Hoffenheim and probably Dortmund are the only real clubs which play that sort of pressing, intense game. And Bayern seem to overcome that. Now Klopp has left Germany, he's gone to the Premier League, and he's doing the same thing, but even actually more intense than Dortmund.
Yeah.
I don't think Bayern are used to that. I think it was a shock.
Yeah.
They're not used to someone attacking them. I mean, in the second leg, albeit they were attacking, but they weren't still not used to the intensity. And Liverpool hunting the ball down in packs, getting the ball back, not giving them any time on the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And now the fixture is what's also more interesting. So 4 of the English Premier League teams are in the quarter-final. Liverpool versus Porto is the first match that will be played the next month, and Tottenham versus Manchester City.
That's a good match as well.
This is also very interesting. You never know. You know, Tottenham could still win Manchester City. And this fixture is really mouth-watering, I can say. Ajax versus Juventus. It's like Juventus, you go for the final, for the semi-final.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. No.
I don't know. Ajax have been surprised.
They surprised Real Madrid.
And Porto. Two surprises.
Yeah. So there is no small team actually. If they're in this position, it's because they deserve to be here. And Manchester United versus Barcelona.
That's the match.
This is a match which most Manchester United fans here do not want to watch. But you know, you never know also here. So hopefully we don't know how this is going to happen, right? And when we look at the Europa League, and Dynamo Zagreb won Benfica 1-0, but in aggregate Benfica is through, and Eintracht Frankfurt versus Internazionale, and Frankfurt has now, you know, they won 1-0 before away, so they are through. Let's look at Arsenal's also. Do you remember Arsenal's result?
I do, yeah. I do.
Arsenal
because, you know, hey,
Arsenal.
I mean, Arsenal fans, what is your problem? I mean, stop panicking. Everything's okay. This, you know, Arsenal are the team who... Arsenal, how can I put this? Arsenal are the team who will walk to the edge of a cliff and pretend to jump, but they never do. So the Arsenal fans, oh, it's all disaster, it's all going wrong, and then they just turn it around. They always do it.
After winning 3-0 to Rennes. So it's really amazing for Arsenal. So when we look at the next match in the Europa League, Arsenal will play against Napoli.
Tough match.
Very tough match. Benfica will versus Eintracht Frankfurt, and the other one is Slavia Prague versus Chelsea. And easy, Villarreal versus Valencia is the other one.
That's the best one.
That's a good match.
Yeah, it's a good match. And then, you know, the return match.
And actually it's been changed because originally Arsenal were playing away, I think. I think it's changed. I think that they've...
Arsenal at home now.
They're at home now. It was away at first when the draw. I think they've changed it,
What happened?
They will play on April 11th. So that's what we have in the Europa
I think the
League.
reason for that was that it was Chelsea and Arsenal, and they can't have the two the London teams playing at the same time because of police and trouble and stuff.
Makes sense.
So they changed it.
Yes. Now coming back to the Ethiopian Premier League, or after some?
Let's talk about Ethiopia because we spoke a lot about the end of the season, and last week we looked at the standings, we looked at the top goal scorers. But the Ethiopia Premier League is back.
It's back.
Gives us something to celebrate.
Yes.
Gives us something to go and watch.
Before I go into...
Gives us a chance to get dressed up.
Give them a chance to talk.
Before I get into the match or the fixtures in today's match, let's look at few transfer news. Adam Akatama is known for bringing youth players to the senior team through their youth academy. Brooke Bogala, a left back, is among the two players who got the chance to play in the senior team in the second season. So he's promoted. So congratulations to Brooke. Yeah, the other youngster is Dagam Tarekeng. No? Do you know what it means?
No, but you're going to tell me, I'm sure.
Later on. So who is playing in the striker position will now enjoy playing for the senior team. And we would like to say well done to Adam Akanama for investing and believing in the youth. Alright. Jimma Bajifar, on the other hand, have signed one player before the beginning of the second season. Farid Yusuf, who has been training with the club since the beginning of this season. Previously he played for, you know, in the Ethiopian Super League and as a striker for Benchimaji Buna and Nekamte Katama. Yeah, you're always surprised.
I know the name. Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great name.
Yes, and Jimma Bajifar has. They have departed with strikers Bismarck, Apia, and the other one is Ermias Hailu. Hence, in today's match against Adama Karama, the two strikers, Okiki Afolabi, you remember?
Hey, yeah, my favorite player.
You like Okiki,
Yeah. Okiki Afolabi and Farid Yusuf are expected to lead the front line when they play against Adama Karama.
Yeah.
Right? So those are the transfer news that we have, and regarding yesterday's match, Welwalu Adigrat University, like I mentioned earlier, they have started with a winning Hawassa Karama at home, and in today's match there are 8 matches, and you don't usually get the chance to see all the matches played in 1 week.
Yeah, that's so.
Usually we have many matches postponed, but now it's really good to see the
I
matches
suppose because
are-
there's been that break as well. Everyone's ready. Is that break?
Everyone is ready, and all the matches have been played that was supposed to be played in the first season. So Walaita Dicha will host Solskjaer, and David will play against Mekele Saban Dirta, and Bahardar Karama will host St. George. This is a big match, and this will be played at Bahardar City. And Fasil Karama will entertain Sidama Buna, and Jimma Bajifar, like I mentioned earlier, will play against Adama Karama, and Dreadhor Karama will play against Ethiopia Bunna. And the last match is Mekelake versus Dabu Police. And when we look at the time, the fixtures, all of them will be played at 3 p.m. except the last one, which is Mekelake versus Dabu Police here in Addis Ababa Stadium.
And no more dismissals. Last week we had 6 players being told they could leave. So no one else being told they can leave this week?
No, not really. So the most entertaining, or one of the big matches, is Jimma Bajifar versus Adama Karama. This will be played, as I said, at 3 p.m.
The thing is, Chima, they're not doing well after winning the.
Let's look what the stats are saying. Yeah.
Cool.
So
He's
Jimma,
a stats man. Stats. Go on.
head to head, Jimma promoted to the Ethiopian Premier League last season, and in their first meeting, the game ended 1-1. But afterwards, the champions won 5-0 and 2-0. And Jimma Abajifar didn't lose any match at home this season, winning 3 times and drawing for 4 times. And Adama Karama has so far played 7 matches away from home and winning once, drawing 4 times and losing twice. So losing only once. So the referee who is assigned to officiate this match is Iyasu Fante, who showed 8 yellow cards and 1 red card in the last 3 matches. He led, and he's assigned to also be at the center of the match today.
It sounds like the way you said it sounds like there's this alternative league for referees who gives out the most yellow cards or something.
It sounds like that, but they have to behave. That's why. The players have to.
So he's saying, if you don't behave, I am not going to stand for it.
Yeah. So I could say if we have time, I can say the probable lineup.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Jimma Bajifar, they are expected to play 4-3-3, and Daniel Ajoye will play in the goalkeeping position, and Awat Gabriel Mikhail, Kader Haradin, and Adama Sisoko, Elias Ataro will be playing in the defense, and Henok Gamtesa, Yehun Ndashau, and Masoud Mohammed, I think you know this guy, and Didio Labri, Mamadou Sidibe, and Asjalo Gruma are expected to line up in the 4-3-3. Sounds strong team, with strong names. All right. So that's what we have in the Ethiopian Premier League. We can move on to.
I hope you're excited.
We are.
Right, now I'm going to put. I mentioned earlier, last week we had tennis. We gave you the beginner's guide to tennis. And I said this week we're going to make it smaller, more compact. So we've shortened the bats. They're actually officially called paddles, actually. Paddles, yeah. And we've made the table higher, so there's no grass. We've raised it up a bit and made it smaller.
Okay.
And we're going to call it table tennis, or you could call it ping pong.
Ping pong. I actually like ping pong.
Ping pong sounds nice. Yeah. We'll call it ping pong.
Let's do it.
But if you don't know how to play it, this is what you do.
Rules of table tennis.
3 are listening to Sports Addis on EBC 104.7. Wilbur.
And Rajay,
Daniel.
And
we
Daniel.
have Daniel as the guest. You didn't eat your breakfast, did you?
I did actually.
But you sound like you lost all his energy.
It's my
like-
first time. It's my first time waking
It's
up
very early.
on
Okay.
a Sunday morning
Really?
to be with you guys.
Okay, you should go to the church. All right. Anyway, coming back to
What's going on today?
yes, in the English Premier League, one of the matches which were supposed to be played, Tottenham versus Crystal Palace, has been postponed. And the other one is Fulham versus Liverpool. This game will be played at 5:15 this afternoon. And Everton versus Chelsea. This is also a big match, and this will be played at 7:30 this evening on Saturday in Ethiopian time. So when we look at the managers, what the managers said. Everton manager Mauricio Silva, he said they are really strong in that front line and in the middle zone also. But they're here playing at Goodison. If you have achieved a good result against them away, maybe with confidence we can achieve better at home. That's what he said. And what do you expect Sarri to say? You're always good at, you're like Lauro of predicting what he would say.
Chelsea up and down, but they're coming. They were good against Wolves. They were pressing, and Wolves just defended, and they came back. I don't know. I think Sarri's going to say it's going to be a difficult match.
Yeah.
But we need 3 points. Hey.
All right, you sound like sorry. In my opinion, he said Everton outside the top 6 are the best team in the Premier League in terms of technical quality. So we have to play a very important match and a very difficult game. That's what he said. He said he kept it, he kept it short. He didn't want to say more. And Lauro predicted this one. Mark Lawrenson said that it will end 1-1. Daniel will tell us, our guest for today, will tell us what's your prediction?
Chelsea 2-1.
2?
2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
To Chelsea. It's interesting.
Not bad. Yeah. Me too, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to go to 2-1?
Yeah. For Chelsea.
Yeah, it's definitely.
You prefer the draw, don't you?
It's going to be a Chelsea win, I think. I mean, Everton did turn up the screws when they played Liverpool. If they're up for it, Chelsea have got a very hard task. It could be a draw.
That was a Merseyside derby.
I know, but I don't know.
Yeah, but here also it's at home. Everton is
home.
playing at home.
Yeah.
So
Still Chelsea.
It will be yeah. So we can look at the match facts head to head. The past two in the past two meetings have ended 0-0. Only for fixtures in the Premier League history have finished goalless in 3 consecutive games, and Everton haven't scored in any of their last 5 league matches against Chelsea, drawing twice and losing 3 times. And the Toffees have won only one of their last 10 Premier League encounters, drawing 3 times and losing 6 times. So it's going to be a very, very tough match.
Yeah. It's
So
gonna be a
that's
tough
what
one.
we have for today. Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. You mentioned the Toffees there, and I was just thinking, actually, what I could do one week is go through, if you guys don't know here in Ethiopia, all the nicknames for the English Premier League teams. They all have nicknames like the Toffees.
Yeah.
Everton.
The
I
Red
can,
Devils.
I can tell you where
The
those
Gunners.
names. Yeah, I can tell you where those names came from. You might find it interesting. You might not.
That's interesting.
But I can tell you
I'm
where those.
interested
Yeah,
already.
I can tell you where those names
I'm
came
interested.
from.
I'm down for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, Daniel, you can also say like the Ethiopian ones.
Yeah.
The Ethiopian ones.
You can do that as well.
Yeah, we can do that.
You could do that as well.
We can do
Hey,
that.
but we will discuss that at a later point, and we will see you next week back here.
Yeah.
10
See you next
a.m.
week
Say goodbye, everyone.
on EBC 104.7. You've been listening to Sports Addis
Have a
with
great
Dara J, Wilbur, and our guest Daniel.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Ciao. Here's the Chain Smokers.